It's MLS Cup Playoff time. We face a familiar foe. Literally the opponent we just played on decision day. Will we mix things up against the opposition? We discuss next.
What's going on, 5-Track fam? I'm AJ, this is Marc.
This segment is sponsored by Mojitos Bistro. Mojitos at the Forum, where you can find a slice of Miami and Havana right here in Atlanta. They offer Cuban cuisine made with recipes from their mom's cookbook. For more on the awesomeness at Mojitos, check our description box below.
Welcome to a match preview special, and it's the MLS Cup Playoffs, the first round, and it's against the New England Revolution. It's like a deja vu match, and yeah, it's on a 1 p.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh,
kind of.
man.
They changed it. Originally it was 3:30, and a lot of people were displaced by that. In particular, parents and coaches involved with youth soccer.
Yeah.
So we feel for you, absolutely.
But either way, we're gonna get into this match preview, and so yes, the New England Revolution, they have been in kind of very shoddy form. Only one win in their last 6 with 3 draws. So yeah, you can do the math there. They're not really playing terribly well, but right. Bruce Arena has them at least in the playoffs, and that really was not really kind of in the cards earlier on.
Right, yeah. Well, they made a coaching change, and for good reason. And yeah, I mean, New England are in here. Probably the worst opponent in the postseason, but hey,
yeah,
they made it.
Exactly. And so in terms of that, though, I mean, are they the worst opponent for us? I mean, us seeing them back to back, that really is something that we're gonna have to contend with because beating a team back to back is pretty difficult in soccer. So, but I think we do have the goods to do that. But in our last 6. We've won 3 and lost 2, and so especially with that last win against them at Mercedes-Benz, that was a good confidence builder.
Yep.
But it is. Yeah, that last match, there were quite a few chances.
Yeah. They scored, they tied the match, they hit the crossbar later on. I mean, they had their chances. They could have won that match. And if that type of match played out again, I would not feel too comfortable with that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because it's a more pressurized situation in the playoffs. I don't know if we'll get the free run of things like we will and did.
And they've had 2 weeks to prepare, like as you mentioned, after already seeing us. And for a coach like Bruce Arena, who's won so many titles in this league, that's only an advantage.
Right. I mean, Bruce Arena has won 5 MLS Cups and 3 U.S. Open Cups, and that's he knows how to win these competitions. And yes, to be fair, the teams that he had back then were a lot more talented probably than this New England Revolution team, but either way, he's got that winning pedigree. But in our previous matchups against New England Revolution, we've been undefeated against them. There was, of course, that 7-0 win against them at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and then the 0-0 draw at Foxborough, and then in 2018, the 2-1 win, and then that 1-1 draw. And then in 2019, the 2 matches that we had, we won 2-0 away and 3-0, of course, in that
3-1
decision or 3-1 win on decision day. And so, but also looking at their kind of splits as well. LA United and New England Revolution, it's kind of night and day a little bit at home and away for both of these teams.
Right, yeah. So LA United have been 12-3-2 at home this season. 2 losses coming to Columbus and Dallas. 39 points, 22 goal difference. Those are both top in the Eastern Conference at home. Expected goal difference, though, is 10.3, which, maybe we've been a little bit lucky, a little bit fortunate, who knows. New England Revolution away from home have been putrid, for lack of a better word. 3-8-6, 17 points from 17 matches. Goal difference of -11. Expected goal difference of -12.1.
But it's one of those things where, these stats look great in our favor for maybe a regular season game, but in the playoffs, that kind of form just kind of goes out the window. Absolutely. And it's really just about surviving and advancing. So, but in terms of New England Revolution's strength, I think we noticed that, they love a ball over the top.
Yep.
They love a through ball, but they're not really fantastic at finishing their scoring chances, and that's really been a thing And they don't really keep possession as well.
Yeah.
So
they also don't defend set pieces well. They don't They don't defend the wings very well. Both of those should play in our favor. And I think that, as I said before, I think our offensive set pieces, are actually pretty solid. We just maybe haven't finished some of those chances.
Right. But yeah, and then they also I mean, I think they've got a pretty good attack. It's a matter of just the rest of their lines are lacking maybe a few here and there.
Right. They also have a pretty good goalkeeper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it really, like, us getting 3 against him was actually, we were just, I think, a little bit more clinical than New England was. But their players to watch, though, Carlos Heel, has 10 goals and 12 assists on the 2019 season. Gustavo Bo, 9 goals and 1 assist, and Teal Bunbury, 6 goals and 2 assists. I mean, yeah, they spread the goals around, and yeah, I mean, I think we saw they have some speed in their attack, and they were getting in behind us pretty easily.
And Teal Bunbury, okay, 6 goals, 2 assists, maybe doesn't jump off the charts, but what he is a proper target man, and he's key to their attack and what they're trying to do. He had a hand in the goal that was scored against us, where maybe put Escobar off a little bit, and it leads to an error, which leads to a counterattack.
Right.
Which, if you want to score against Atlanta, that's how you do it.
I mean, they know how to play Route 1, and I mean, when you have a target man like that, that's really allowing them to play that way, and it really kind of unsettled us and kind of unlocked some of those doors against us that really worried me in the playoffs for sure.
Yeah.
But of course, our players are pretty dangerous as well.
Pretty good.
So, on our end.
Yeah, we got Joseph with 27 goals and 3 assists. I'm surprised he doesn't have more. Actually.
It's true. I mean, yeah, he has been playing a little bit earlier in the season. He was connecting the lines a little bit.
Yeah.
He had to drop back a little bit deeper earlier in the season. But I mean, it was still, I think it's that, final ball still comes to him and he puts it away.
Absolutely. And then, got Julian Gressel with the 6 goals, 11 assists, another double-digit assist season. And, I think he's really been coming into form the last couple of weeks. So, definitely cementing his place in the lineup if it wasn't already. And I think he's a key part of Atlanta making a deep run in this postseason.
Indeed. And also, P.T. Martinez has 5 goals and 7 assists. So he is someone that I think New England didn't see, but might see.
Should see, really.
Yeah, probably. And and so in terms of the injuries and unavailable players for New England Revolution, Edgar Castillo still remains out with a rib injury. And of course, for Atlanta, we have some kind of a really large injury that looms in our defense.
So Miles Robinson on U.S. men's national team duty picks up an injury. And, according to reports that came out, and Darren News himself really, it was an intense training session after the Cuba match at 11 o'clock at night. He hadn't played in that game. And that's where the injury occurs, and it just...
Yeah, they were doing sprints. It's just like...
I mean, and for context, it is not uncommon for players who don't participate in a match to get a warm down session in.
But hard sprints.
Yeah, intense though, it's not really the...
Yeah, especially in an international break, that is really where it's most perplexing, and had, I think, Darren Eales on the brink of being quite mad on air, but he held it in.
Right.
It was as professional as ever, but I think everybody else was screaming into at least something, into a pillow.
Oh, God. And the cruel irony of it, too, is that the whole reason he was called up to the senior team was because Walker Zimmerman pulled out because of an injury.
Right. And you had been playing with the U23s, with the U.S. men's national team, and so, and
probably would have actually played, too.
Yeah, and so that's really, it's a cruel twist of fate, but so Miles Robinson is week to week, apparently, and at least is, I mean, it's going to be a kind of touch and go situation.
Yeah, as hamstring injuries tend to do.
Yeah, so, it's going to be pretty fickle, and so, maybe week to week is like an optimism thing of like, if we get past the Revolution, which now our job has become that much tougher.
Right.
And the only other person that is reportedly out is Brek Shea, of course, with, his ACL tear and other things that happened to his leg, and he is, of course, out for the season. One of the guys that was notably on international duty as well. Flo Pogba, he played 90 minutes with Guinea in their 3-2 loss.
Right.
And so
he won't rejoin the team, I think it was today.
Yeah, it was today. We all, to be transparent, we filmed this on a Tuesday, and so he won't be back until Thursday probably. And so, yeah, there is some things about that backline as well now. It kind of really just, there's only a few players that can probably play back there.
Sure.
At least for the first team anyway. So, but getting into some of the quotes, essentially Jose Martinez, he backs. If there were some other players that came in, notably a Parky, obviously, that would come in, he says, "We know Parky hasn't played a lot of minutes in a while. Captain is still the captain. What we might lose in speed, we make up for in experience. These are the type of games where experience is what matters. Experience can win games."
How often do you disagree with Jose Martinez? Because I can't remember the last time, honestly.
Yeah, that's
no,
true.
I mean, I think he's spot on here.
Yeah, and I think he sees what they're doing in training as well. And so if he has belief in Michael Parkhurst, then I have belief in Michael Parkhurst because, he's shown, and especially in big moments in the MLS Cup, that experience really came through at the right moment.
And listen, he played against Montreal, and the defense looked better for it, I feel like. So, that's not that long ago. Is he in contention to start? Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, indeed. But Jeff Lorenowitz also, he noted to the press that, he said that the team had one of their better training sessions on Tuesday at the facility in Marietta, which is great to hear because, there have been some kind of lulls, that's when we came in, it didn't look as good right off the bat.
Right.
So right after an international break, we pretty much lay an egg, and it's just...
against Columbus, right.
It's been a little bit laissez-faire, I think. They apparently look refreshed, motivated, and so that's very much a good thing. Yeah. He said the group as a whole looks sharp. Out of nowhere, something can happen where you need someone. I think top to bottom, everyone was ready to go. So that's great to hear because, we absolutely need all our guys ready to go just in case anything happens because, when you have international breaks right before the playoffs, things can happen.
But also this season, it's we've been fairly inconsistent. I mean, it's a pretty solid season overall with 2 trophies to boot. But I think it's an opportunity to kind of turn the page on the regular season, and now it's postseason time. It's a new season. It's a new game entirely.
Right. But along with that, though, with some of the match facts, though, in the regular season, Atlanta United have scored at least 2 goals in 10 of their last 11 home matches. Bodes well.
Yep.
And
there have been over 2.5 goals scored in 8 of Atlanta United's last 9 home matches. There have been over 2.5 goals scored in New England's last 4 away matches, and New England have conceded at least 2 goals in those last 4 away matches. Yeah. So we should score.
We should score, and there should be at least a couple goals in hand for us if all goes well.
But we have to keep them off the score sheet.
Exactly. And so some of the keys to this match is how do we cope without Miles Robinson, who's our best one-on-one defender. I think a lot of guys on the team have already mentioned that. With that, it allows us to take the risk that we do going forward, and just allowing a Miles Robinson to kind of bail us out. And that will not be the case because, him being with the diagnosis of week to week, that pretty much means I think he's not going to play.
Definitely not this week anyway.
Right. And so that kind of lends in to the hand of what our shape and our tactics are going to be. But I think all the while, our best attack usually comes from when we attack with our wing depth.
Absolutely.
And so, we absolutely need to, feed Gressel that, Gressel can put in that final ball because that really was effective. And I think he's shown with that a man of the match display against the New England Revolution. And so if they allow him that space again or not, that's a whole different thing. But I think because we were able to overload it on the left, And
I mean, you saw everything from Gressel in that match. You saw the early ball, you saw the cutback, you saw him arriving late and taking a shot. I mean, that's pretty much what you want from your wingbacks.
Exactly, and a lot of facets to his game, and so if he's allowed that space, which kind of with the overloading that I was speaking about on the left, it allows him that space on the right. Fantastic, kind of thing where if he is allowed that space, I think he has so much to offer the team, and so we need to make sure we feed him.
Absolutely.
And we need to make sure we finish our chances like we have, at least against the New England Revolution. So far at home, it's been a good sign usually.
Right.
Talk about that 7-0 as well. But that's, of course, a previous season. But it really still, that gives us the confidence that, yes, we know we can put it past this team.
Right.
We just have to make sure that we keep creating the chances that we do.
Right. At the same time, we have to remember that they are dangerous, especially with the long ball and them getting in behind. And they do love a through ball, as we mentioned before. So really stopping those passes, cutting those passes out, going to be key. LGP and Miram on Atlanta United's left, they're going to be key to holding down that side. And the energy from us, the supporters. It's going to be, we expect 70,000 for this match. I think the crowd is going to be pretty into it. I know the 1 p.m. kind of, it's a little
gonna be rough,
it's inconvenient, but I think it still should be a pretty rowdy crowd. And
theoretically, it's early in the day, so we should have more energy.
Right.
So
you just wake up and go to the game.
Exactly, right. Pretty much. That's really what it's going to be, I think. Especially on a Friday night. I don't know how many people are going to be like just pretty much, maybe having an all-nighter. Really. And then, whatever. But, and so that gets us to our predicted starting 11.
Yep.
Let's getting through the lines here.
Yep.
I think, without a doubt, Guzan is between the sticks.
Absolutely.
But this is where it's all going to get interesting. What shape do we play with?
Right.
Do we play with a 4-man back line? Do we play with a 3-man back line?
Yep.
It really, without a proper kind of left back that has played in our system for the majority of the year, that really kind of makes the 4-man back line a little bit moot, especially with a Flo Pogba being away on international duty. I don't think he really is able to get in on any newly changed tactics. So,
And is that something you want to try at this point?
Exactly. And so I think we're going to go with mostly what we've been comfortable with.
Right.
And that's the 3-5-2 or even a modified 3-4-1-2. It just depends on who's in the system. For me,
definitely 3-man backline.
Exactly. I think it's the 3-5-2. And so I think it's a 3-4-1-2. And so the 3-man back line, Escobar,
Parkhurst, LGP.
So Parkhurst comes in. I think that's fairly obvious with Flo Pogba being the only other center back pretty much that we can employ here. Because for me, I think what's very important is locking down the middle. And so, but that's an illusion. We're going to get to the wingbacks first. So, I think it's Gressel and Miram, obviously.
So we've talked a lot about Gressel, but I want to have a word about Miram here. I think last few weeks he's not been as good. I think his form is so coming into the postseason. If Miles were healthy, I would even say move Escobar to wingback possibly, but with Parkhurst coming in anyway. But that's neither here nor there. That's the lineup that we're gonna go with. I think this makes the most sense. And I
think if that were the case, though, it would really limit our back line in terms of pace. And that's really, I think, it is something that, they were kind of burning through him anyway. And really kind of on the right center back side, it didn't really matter in a sense. But I think hopefully Franco Escobar learns his lessons and doesn't get turned so easily, isn't diving in rashly.
I'm actually pretty optimistic that Parkhurst is going to have a positive impact on the defense, having them organized. Exactly. I think that he will make a big difference in terms of the positioning back there. So.
And so, having Miram instead there as he usually is, yes, I mean, he didn't go with Iraq for that reason. That he could stay healthy and, stay potentially healthy, obviously. And then I think, him kind of going backwards has been a little bit of a thing where they've been targeting that recently.
Right.
But I think still, all in all, if we can be on the front foot with a Justin Meram, then we can really pin them back, and it won't really be as maybe a big of a worry.
I mean, we've seen how dangerous we are when Meram is on his game. You know? So
exactly.
if he's on his game, it'll be fantastic for the team overall.
Right. And so, I think going into the midfield, then, that illusion, yes, Jeff Larentowicz, I think, starts again in the midfield. I think, yes, Eric Remedi, I mean, I think in another game, I think, I think plays better for this, but I think we need to lock down kind of centrally. And it's been a thing. I mean, it was a little bit easy for them to go route one last match, but I think still, if you're going to trust Larry in the middle on a big game, I think this is that type of game that we absolutely need to get through. And so,
So I do have a difference there. Nagbe, of course, is in, but I do have Remedi in there. And a couple of reasons. I don't a lineup with Parkhurst and Larry in it, I think, is giving up a little bit too much pace. And I also feel that Remedi and Nagbe, and Remedi in particular, are more likely to close down the ball, to pressure. And I think that'll allow Atlanta to be on the front foot a little bit more. I think a big part of the reason why New England was able to create chances was that it was too even of a match in the midfield, and they had time to pick out passes over the top. They had time to pick those through balls. And so I think the best approach for Atlanta United in this match is to just force New England back, have them, under pressure from minute one to where they can't even play out. And I think your best lineup for that is Remedi and Nagbe.
Okay. And so, moving into the number 10 position.
Yep.
Some would say maybe an Emerson Hyndman because he played their last match. He linked up very well and was able to overload the left a lot, and because Emerson Hyndman likes to kind of cheat over there on possession, and so and he starts his run, and then the combo play really kind of connects that way on the left side. But I think for me, I've got Ezequiel Barco in that 10 position because I think in this match, we have to play our best players in their best positions. And I think Barco has been shown that when he's played that 10 position, he also does do a little bit of the dirty work, tracks back. And, I mean, he's been super efficient at not only being careful with the ball, but, kind of that final ball as well has been very tidy from him. And so, for me, it's Barco.
Totally agree. Yep. And Hyndman has had a fine season. I could see him contributing in this match. But, Barco is just, he's faster, he's quicker, he's more of a spark, what I mean? And he does offer you a very dangerous free kick as well. I mean, I think he's unlucky not to have scored a free kick.
For sure. And it was great that he got that match fitness in the last match. So, it's great to see so that he can kick on in this match. But it is also, I think that pretty much means that it pretty much has to be a PT Martinez up top.
Absolutely.
And so, so PT Martinez and Jose Martinez will be our forward line, I think. And I think what they can offer is if they can make sure to stay compact in the middle and, really kind of connect in the box, really, I think we can, really create our chances here and really provide this space for Gressel on the wing, and then, Justin Meram on the wing to, they will provide the width that we need from there. And so,
and PD also, he's comfortable dropping between the lines and, playing through balls, playing balls over the top, so he does provide that creativity from that standpoint as well. And also it's this, I mean, look, he was our best player in our best month of August, and I just think it'd be kind of harsh. It'd be kind of crazy, to bench him for a playoff match, I feel, So absolutely. PD for me definitely starts.
Right. But I think we should not be afraid to change anything if something is going awry or if it's not working or something like that. But I don't think that really will be the case. There will be some goals to the good for Atlanta United, and so that gets us to our score prediction. What do you have going on?
Did we mention that Joseph is going to start? I mean, we know he is.
Yeah. I mentioned that Joseph
Okay.
started, and it's basically, I mean,
obviously.
the fact that he started 90 minutes, and,
Right.
I mean,
Scored on the final day. I'm telling you, it's a good omen.
amazing. Yeah, amazing that he did that, especially from that injury scare. It's crazy, man. Like, he is really an android.
Yeah.
Like, it's impossible.
I don't know where he came from, but thank you.
Yeah, seriously. Atlanta thanks you, for real. Because we are, hopefully, and we have been, the only team in Atlanta that wins shit. So, anyway,
To that score prediction. I'm going big here, man. I'm going to say it's 4-1. You know, I think that we are fortunate to play the Revolution in our first playoff match. You know, they're, like I mentioned before, probably the worst team involved in the postseason. But after that, if we get past the Revolution, the competition ramps up.
Yeah.
You know, like we would play the winner of Red Bulls Union. Neither team we beat this season. And so I'm more than looking for a win. I don't want just a scrappy win. I want a dominant performance, something that looks familiar to what we're seeing from the Atlanta United of old, the Atlanta United that won MLS Cup in 2018. So yeah, I want to see that kind of game, and I'm going to say 4-1.
Okay. I'm hoping that is the case, obviously, but I'm a little bit less bullish, and I think it's going to be a 2-1 win. And I think it's because they're going to be sitting back so deep, and they're going to be aiming to frustrate. But I think the problem is that New England Revolution just don't have a good enough defense to really cope with that. And so, you know, we'll get our goals, and you know, maybe it's like 1-1, and then we you know, get that breakthrough, and then it's just you know, they're gonna go for you know, trying to get through as well, but it's just, you know, it's gonna kind of be a frustrating match. But I think all in all, you know, we survive and we advance. So that's the match preview, guys, then. But remember to let us know your score predictions in the comments below. Absolutely. But guys, subscribe if you haven't already, smash that like button, and share this video because it really does help us a lot. And for Mark, I'm AJ. Thanks so much for watching.